Well, I finished watching episode 8 of Peacemaker season 2, and holy moly, what a way to end the season. Like what a way. So, okay, let me try to, yes, I will talk about spoilers for this episode. Even though I didn't really do spoilers for the review for season 1 and 2, except for this episode, but it's like, I'm going to talk about spoilers. So, crap, where did I begin? So, we got the beginning of the episode where we see what Chris and Hardgrove were talking about, what Chris was trying to talk about with Hardgrove, during like the beginning of this season. So we get a basically flashback of what went down and whatnot. And so we know, like now we know what Chris was talking about and whatever. So him and Hargrove kissed during a concert at the cruise. And it was really a kiss that made Hargrove go like, yeah, I wasn't in the right space. I don't want to talk about this or whatnot. And then finally in this episode, she's like, yes, it meant everything to me when she finally answered Chris's question. Chris's question. Because he kept asking, did it mean something? Did it mean something? She finally went. And then in this episode, she was finally like, yes, it meant everything. And then, you know, he celebrates knowing that it meant everything. While Peacemaker was in prison for not too long, Rick Flag Sr. was using the device, you know, that dimension to check for other worlds. And we presume for it to be habitable for humans or whatnot, right? Before it gets revealed. But we assume, well, I assume maybe it was habitable for human beings, right? Overpopulation, maybe. Hargrove brought it up, but I was just thinking maybe it could be for that. But then Economos, he was like, when have we ever done anything good for the people? Or like for anyone, really. So it's like, once he said that, it's like, ooh, it could be for something, you know, something suspicious, right? And a bunch of people kept dying left and right from going to those different worlds. Like one of them was like a Candyland place, and then they had these little gremlin-like things that just started going, and it was a bunch of them too. And they started going crazy, and they killed someone. And then in another world, there was this one with zombies, but like it was, what, 1800s with zombies or something like that? Probably 1700s. No, it looked like it was, you know, it never reached the 20th or 21st century. Late 20th or 21st century. It was more 19th, 18th century. But there were zombies in one world, and then another world was just basically hell. It had a bunch of big spider skull things, and then and it just screamed, and the characters were like, yeah, we're not going here. And then they finally find a perfect world for humans. And I say perfect in quotation marks because it turns out, you know, after they found it, you know, humans can breathe, water, resources, all that, right? Turns out Rick Flag was trying to find a world to put metahumans and criminals. Probably not all metahumans, maybe all. I tried watching. It sounded like from all metahumans, right? But basically, it was for metahumans and criminals to live there. Yeah. And whenever Rick Flag Sr. was presenting it, you know, there was a dude, he was like, you know, I don't see this as punishment. Why are we going to put criminals here and that? And Rick Flag's like, I don't care about punishment. I care about just getting them off this earth and having every other normal human being that's not a, you know, psycho, like a criminal or whatever, be safe on this earth and whatnot. And all the criminals, but I assume, like, you know, serious criminals, right? Not like a petty thief or something. But like, they're serious criminals, and then metahumans, they all go to this world, and then boom, they're stuck there forever because they can have the door appear to that world, and then they can easily take it away, so then no one can escape. And then they can randomly appear out of nowhere, I guess, for some reason, if they want to. I mean, the door can appear to put more criminals and metahumans in there, right? But yeah, that's what Rick Flag Sr. was trying to look for. And then after that, I forgot her name, but she was with Rick Flag Sr. I should just say Flag, or, Flag Sr. or something, right? But she was with him, and then she's like, yeah, I want to leave this, and then Harker was like, yo, I got a friend we can talk to, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and then a bunch of stuff happened. Oh, yeah. Vigilante ads bailed Chris out of jail because Vigilante has a bunch of money that he stole from drug lords, criminals, bank, people who stole the money from banks, whatnot, robbers. And he just had a bunch of money there, right? So they bail Chris out of jail. And then soon afterwards, after Chris starts celebrating, because Hargrove said it meant everything for her, the kiss and whatnot, right? Now we're going back there. Once it met everything, and then everything seems fine, They got the intro music playing, oh Lord, and they start their own business company, right, with the money from Vigilante. Adrian, from Adrian. I couldn't remember his name. And they make a business. Eagerly puts his wing on Economos as he's like trimming his claws or something. I was gonna say nails, but trimming his claws or something. They're taking care of a wound. And Economos is like, looks at him and he's just like, a little smirk comes up. It's like, someone that's nice to me. An animal, but why not, right? I presume Eagerly did that because Economos was basically taking care of him for the time being while Chris was in prison. So he's like, friend, and once Chris is leaving to go back to his motel room, he gets kidnapped by Argus. I presume it's Argus, right? He gets kidnapped by Flag Sr. and they're taking him. And at first I was like, there's no way they're taking him to that planet. And then I see the door. I'm like, okay, so they're taking him to that planet. Wow. That different, planet. It's crazy. And so then they put him in there. Then Chris is like, hey, why? He's like, why am I in here? Then Flag's like, oh, well, you volunteered, we got to test it out. And you decide to volunteer for us. He's like, no. And he's like, oh, are you sure? Then the paperwork. So he made Chris sign something without actually knowing, right? And he's like, yep, that's your signature. And Chris was like, shit, right? He knew. He's like, fuck. They put in something I didn't know about, right? They left that part off. And then they closed the door, and Flag Sr. said, this is for Ricky. Flag Jr., not Senior. Flag Jr. It's for Flag Jr., right? Vengeful. And Chris regrets killing Flag Jr. Because, in season 1, the first episode, he starts crying about how much of a piece of shit that he is for killing Flag Jr. and the Suicide Squad. And so, he was sorry. Flag Sr. doesn't give a rat's ass at all. He wants to kill Chris, and it's like, well, damn. Or he hopes he dies, or whatnot. If he's alive, he's like, well, keep him in there, probably, if he doesn't die. And so then Chris is left in there, in that world. And as he's looking around, everything seemed normal, right? We saw water, grass, trees, whatnot. The sun is there, whatnot. What we didn't know until Chris was there looking around was there's other creatures there in that world. And probably Flag Senior with further investigation knew. Or maybe he didn't know. And he just thought it was a place that had maybe some animals, but not like creatures, like some big creatures, right? But like probably some animals like on our planet. And basically, I guess he was going to use that planet as a prison for the metahumans and criminals to basically put them in there, and then they kill each other if they really want to. And so basically, it is a prison for them, because he knows 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. Is that how you say it? Probably not, But, he most likely, the criminals, metahumans, probably going to kill each other for fun or to survive or whatever, right? And yeah, that's how the episode ends. What an episode, right? So for Peacemaker season, I gotta do rating, because I did it for Casino Royale, even though this review is gonna come out before the Casino Royale review, but I recorded that first after I finished watching the movie yesterday, right? I'll give season 1 an 8 out of 10, and then this one, fudge, I'm so bad at ratings, I can't do it. Most of my ratings are really good. I enjoyed it. It made me wet everywhere. I liked it. It was okay. It was, well, no, that'd be okay. Or it was terrible, or it was dog shit. Or slightly above terrible. It was terrible, but hilariously terrible. Yeah, so it made me wet. It was good. It was okay / It was hilariously terrible. It was terrible. It was dog shit. That's basically my rating. I'll give Peacemaker, it was good. Close to, it made me wet, but not exactly there. Like the Demon Slayer movie, that made me wet. Casino Royale, it was good. Well, I'm already going to say that in the other video, but I gave it a certain rating. I think that rating that I gave it was for it's good, right? What else? K-pop Demon Hunters was because I didn't give a really rating for that. So yeah, Peacemaker was good. Casino Royale was good. I'm already going to conclude that, but, I talk more about Casino Royale in that video. Demon Slayer movie made me wet, and K-pop Demon Hunters was So, yeah, that's it for my review. Have a good day, night, afternoon, or whatever.